Welcome, everyone, to the DUB Success Series, where we cultivate your belief system for success. I am your host, Y. Nelson Thomas, and I want to know, do you believe? Do you?
Do you believe? I want to know. Do you believe? 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 I want to know. Do ya?
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you tune in to another episode of the Do You Believe Success Series with me, your host, Y. Nelson Thomas, your lifestyle strategy partner, also known as Hydrate the Motivator, Mr. Do You Believe himself in the flesh. And I am super excited and honored, as always, to have anyone who tunes in and listens. I don't know how many people actually tune in and listen. It could be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not even sure. But if it is just you alone, just you, one person, I thank you so very much for your time. If you have caught any of the other episodes, then you know that I am in the midst of a 100-day podcast challenge where we will be podcasting every single day for 100 days, leading all the way up to Christmas Day. And in addition to the 100-day podcast challenge, I'm also doing a 100-day intimacy challenge as well with my wife, and I'll be taking on the Love Dare. Day 1 is Love is Patient. Day 2 was Love is Kind. Day 3 is Love is Selfish. Day 4, Love is Thoughtful. And even though this is the 6th episode, we're on the 5th day of the Love Dare, and today is Love is Not Rude. So today you want to ask your spouse to tell you 3 things that cause them to be uncomfortable or irritated with you. And you must do this without attacking them or even justifying your behavior. This is from their perspective only. And then in turn, you may voluntarily tell them some things that that make you uncomfortable or irritated with them. That's not necessarily part of the requirement, but if you feel that the conversation is safe enough for you to be able to do that, then it may be healthy for you to share that with them as well. So that is day 5. Love is not rude. Now, my kids are here, so I'm pretty sure at any moment they're going to bust in again on me because they've already ran in and interrupted this podcast, I think 4 times thus far. So hopefully I can go ahead and get through it this time around. But I wanted to discuss something that I saw today that really made me think. I was out walking as a part of my desire to get my health back on track and to drop a couple pounds. I was out walking today, like I always do, and I saw this gentleman, and I see him quite frequently on my walks. He lives in my neighborhood. He's actually a military veteran, and he has no legs. His legs were cut off right below, maybe above his thigh. So literally he has, literally no legs. And he rides his bike every single day. Every single day, a guy with no legs rides his bikes. Now, obviously, it is a special made bike where he pedals with his hands. But the fact that a guy with no legs is out riding a bicycle, it was pretty fascinating to me. And it made me think, if a guy with no legs can ride a bicycle, what is stopping you from achieving any goal that you may have in front of you? And as you know, excuses are tools of the incompetent, which build monuments to nothing, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything else. So excuses within themselves, that's not a reason. An excuse is a tool of the incompetent. It's not a reason. And I just wanted to leave you with this, that if a guy with no legs can ride a bicycle, what's your excuse for not going for anything else in this life that you want? Start that business. Go out and seek that promotion. Write that book. Whatever it may be. I don't know what your particular goal may be, but obviously, if a man with no legs can ride a bicycle, then there's no room for you to have an excuse for not achieving whatever goal it is that you have in front of you. That seed that was planted in your heart was planted there for a reason. If you could not achieve it, you wouldn't even have it in your consciousness on any level. So I want to challenge you. Whatever it is, that one thing that you want to get started, that one thing that you truly want to do not let excuses be the reason that you don't do it. Don't let fear scare you. Take a chance. You know, that I was talking to my baby sister, and she and we are very much alike, perfectionist. We want to get things perfect before we get started. We want to be as perfect as we can, but truthfully, perfection does not exist. There is no such thing as perfection. You improve and you get better, but you cannot improve and you cannot get better if you don't get started. Just like this podcast, I don't expect it to be perfect. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have podcasts out there. Some of them may be way better than mine. They may have better equipment. They may have better guests. They may have better content. All of those things. But if I sat back and waited until I felt that everything was perfect, guess what? I would never start, because perfection does not exist. Only improvement. So don't worry about being perfect. Just get started. Lay a solid foundation. That way you can start improving and getting better. And just remember, when things get tough and things get hard, things are not going your way, just remember that there is a guy with no legs that is riding a bicycle. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, which build monuments to nothing, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I'm about to go finish bathing down my two little rugrats for the day so I can get them ready for school in the morning. And I just want to do a quick reminder again for all of those who are in on the Love Dare. Today is Love is Not Rude. You know, ask your spouse or your companion to tell you 3 things that about yourself that makes, you know, that irritates you. 3 things that irritates them that you may do, whatever that may be. And make sure that it may be tough to hear. It may be a little uncomfortable, but remember, do not attack them and do not try to justify the behavior. Just be humble and just listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm super excited to have this challenge going on, and I hope that something that we say and do here throughout these 100 days will inspire you to do something, to take on the challenge that you want to take on, the same way that I'm taking on this podcast challenge. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It won't be long. I will be back with you in less than 24 hours. So make sure that you tune in and listen to us right here on the Do You Believe Success series with me, your host, Y. Nelson Thomas. Hey, you guys be blessed, and we will see you shortly.
Do you believe? Do you believe? I wanna know. Do you?